Hey folks, back with another little video. This time back in Cappahayden, back on Chance Cove. Back in my regular, usual campsite that I like to camp on. It's Friday morning, so we are here for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The wind is up again here today, nothing like last weekend, but gusting to about 69, 70 kilometers an hour winds, gusts today. Supposed to taper off overnight and get down to a nice day tomorrow. So I have just arrived, and I'm just gonna do a little. Let's have a little look at the campsite. So there has been some activity here since the last time I was up. Whoever was here left quite a stack of garbage. There are beer bottles in the woods, and there's this to deal with, and holy crap. I think they had the best of intentions. They left it in the fire pit, but of course there was a hurricane, so that blew garbage everywhere. So that'll probably be my project up here camping. So clean up and burn what fire stuff they left around. And anyhow, let's get the clam set up back onto the wind and go from there. Oh, here we have a home. And it's always windy, isn't it? Yeah, gusting to 70 today, but after last weekend's proving grounds with the clam shelter, I'm not too concerned, I don't think. I'm getting cocky at the same time. I got everything staked out here. I have not set the hammock up yet because it's crazy windy. I'm gonna wait and see will this wind die out a little bit. I'm in no rush to set the hammock up anyway, so excuse me. But yeah, we're staked in and braced for the wind. Everything is looking good. The garbage can is missing. I don't know what happened to the garbage can here. Part the reason those people left so much garbage here. No excuse really, but either way, I brought some garbage bags. I think I got some space. I'll pack it all up and take it out of here. But either way, got a home. Well, it's 11:30 here now. Not really, it's 20 after 11. I've been just chilling out, hanging out the clam for about an hour here, listening to the wind blow. A few gusts that have been hitting it, but nothing major. Had a tea biscuit for breakfast. But just hanging out, enjoying the day here. It's a beautiful day, but the wind is rocking windy, but it's missing me for the most part. I'm getting a few gusts hitting us here, but anyway, check back in a little bit. I got the big buddy fired up on low just for a little bit, just to take a little bit of the chill out of the air here. This is 12 degrees on the dash of the car, but there's some pretty serious wind blowing this, bringing it down beyond 12 degrees, no doubt about it. But I just went for a walk down so far as the river, just to have a look around, see what's really garbage. And there was moose tracks. I see some moose prints in the mud down there, fairly close to camp, so there's that. Well, it is 1:45, 12:42, and it's like my nice day is kind of going away. It seems like it could rain. The wind is howling, the sky is graying over. Yeah, I'll keep you posted on what happens. And rain, a light shower, but definitely a little bit of misty rain coming in here at a high speed. I'm holding off until 3 or 4 o'clock to set up the hammock and minimize how long it's out there, and I work up a nice appetite for supper then, setting up the hammock. Yeah, just wanted to touch base. There is a little bit of rain, nothing major. I'll tell you, The sun comes out for a minute, and then it gets overcast and windy. Some sunshine coming that way, a little bit of blue sky. But the temperature in here changes drastically. I've still got this thing just sitting here on low, just to keep a little bit of chill away. Boy, when the sun comes out, does it ever warm up inside? Oh, once again, I didn't film too much to do with setup. I swear I will someday. Some nice day I'll do it in the backyard and go into detail about the setup of it. But just running through the quick checklist, I have my Superior gear suspension, Superior suspension, cinch buckle system. Really loving it. You can barely see it, but there's a red continuous ridge line. I got the Wingman by Hackcore, inside out. Maybe it'll still work. Harp is inside out, but that's alright. Oh man. Harp is inside out, is that alright? I don't think we're getting very much rain. I guess that tape seam is okay on the outside anyway. We're gonna go tonight with it. Always something wrong, always something wrong. Anyway. I got my doors on. I'm gonna go in and sit down. Relax and think about whether or not I really want to switch that tarp, flip that tarp. That's a lot of work. I can't see that being a problem in a shower of rain, is it? Anyway, I think we're sticking with it. Yeah, I most definitely am not reversing the tarp. I was thinking about it. I mean, we're only going to get a sprinkle of rain. I'm only using it more for a windbreak. I can't see that being a big issue. You live and you learn. I'm going to roll with that punch. But on a more positive note, I did want to mention, I was thinking it earlier, and I'm positive now the wind is definitely lightening up. Certainly not as vicious as it was this morning. It's supposed to be 69 km/h winds today, which is certainly what we were having. It's supposed to be like in the 50s overnight and then 39 gusts. These are gusts, I shouldn't say winds. The gusts do too. But yeah. I'm just about to get myself some Mr. Noodles for a dinner here. And thought I'd show a little bit more in depth my cooking kit setup here. Again, this is a Toaks Titanium 750 milliliter. Very, very cool. Works great with the lid. Just so I can use it on my plastic table here, on the Nemo table. I've just got some heavy tin foil, like the turkey roaster pans. Some of that tin foil that I cut to the right size. Formed a little lip on it so that this is the top of some kind of coffee can. I think it was a coffee can. And that fits and kind of locks in here. And I've checked this thing out. This doesn't usually get too hot. Speaking of this is Trangia Spirit Burner. Alcohol stove, basically. This is the snuffer lid, or the simmer ring is what they call it. You can kind of adjust the flame using this thing, or you can just use it like I do, just to put it out. And it's made out of brass. Again, made out of brass. I think these were issued to the Swedish military way back in the day. Just trying to one-hand this lid. Come on, you can do it. I can do it. There it is. It's got a rubber O-ring in here that I always like to use my lid as a pot stand to get my burner a little closer to the pot. You got to remove that thing. Make sure you always remove it. But the fact that it's in there is great, because any leftover fuel tends to stay in here and you can kind of use it to carry it. Speaking of carrying fuel, this is an MSR fuel bottle with a child-proof lid on it. Yeah, been using this for a while to carry my fuel. Should point out there's a fill line on it. So you don't fill this thing right to the lip, just fill it to that fill line, give it a little room for sloshing around and doing its thing. You know, I'm going to add a little bit of fuel here to the Trangia. Just gonna add a little fuel into the Trangia. Knew I was gonna spill some because I'm looking through a viewfinder. There we go. That should be enough. Just noticed it's raining again. The wind, it's like 3 different days in one here. At one point I was gonna film it, one side of the sky was blue and sunny, the other side of the sky was black and grey and raining. Anyhow, I just added a little bit of fuel to my Trangia. I've got the O-ring taken out of here so we can use that to prop this thing up. Very careful we don't spill anything. Okay, now I'll show you my pot stand for it. So what I'm using for a pot stand is also by Tokes. This is a gasifier wood burning stove, believe that or not. And there's 3 pieces that nest together here. It's the base of it here. And this piece here is what I use for my alcohol stove stand. But its actual purpose, you flip this over upside down. This piece here is the firebox. This is where the actual combustion takes place. So you put this inside here. They lock together like this. And this unit sits in here. And then we have a gasifier stove, which is awesome. I've got some wood if this wind dies down. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow night. We'll definitely have a fire. I'll fire up the gasifier stove and I'll show you how much fun this thing is. But what we're going to do, I'm just going to take these 2 pieces here, put them to the wayside. We're just going to use the top portion of it, and it fits perfectly over top of here. A little bit too tall, so that's why I like to use that's why I have to use the lid of the can to prop up the burner. And once you do that, we've got a perfect nice little gap there. So what we're going to do, just got it. Pop this down over there quickly without burning my fingers. And I'm just going to stand this up and give it a slide over to the side. Now it can't fall down. How brilliant is that? And I'm just going to wait for just a couple of minutes here, just a couple of seconds, just to let the Trangia really bloom, really get a burn going. You won't see it in the daytime anyway, but that should be fine. Let's get this water on here. And I have however much that is, 500 milliliters, I'd guess. And one thing I've learned from alcohol stoves and camping, a watched pot does indeed boil. I'm not going to put you through it though. Back in a minute. Well, just to show you what I mean. Look at that. Sunshine, blue sky. And the water hasn't boiled yet. Ooh. This titanium spoon is also the long one, for really good for eating those freeze-dried meals. And really good for this too. Yeah, just starting to get a little bit of a boil. Let's see if we sat here talking long enough, it'll rain again. I'll be back in a sec. 11 minutes for anybody keeping score at home. 11 minutes and we are a rolling boil. Thought I'd also show this thing. I always keep this in my kit. Titanium is a crazy metal. It turns pink hot very fast and cools down incredibly fast. You think it's still red hot and it's freezing cold. But this is just a little simple silicone pot grabber, just in case these handles are hot, which I think they are. I'm going to get this off here now and get some Mr. Noodles going. Just hearing some gunshots. I thought I heard one earlier, but it was so windy I wasn't sure. But I'm pretty sure I just heard a gunshot a long ways off, carried on the wind. But it is hunting season. Yeah, not much to worry about myself here in a provincial park, but at the same time, yeah, something else to be conscious of when you're out camping. was thinking spoon's probably not a good idea for Mr. Noodles, but I do have in this little pouch here, you guessed it, titanium by Tokes. Seems to be the theme. It's I collect folding knives. I've got folding knives, I've got folding shovels, I've got all kinds of folding things. Now I have a folding fork. Click that together and we push this thing down. And yeah, titanium folding fork. Who knew? That's so light. That was excellent. Gotta say, I don't eat enough Mr. Noodles. I should have took more, but anyway, great. Just gonna go throw my top quilt in the hammock. I thought I'd take you with me for a walk. Anybody who looks at this, your first question is, how the hell do you get in and out of it? These tarp doors on the end here are exactly that. They're doors. Move my way down here. Excuse the shaky camera work. I'm walking on some sketchy ground here. I got my top quilt here with me. So basically what I'm going to do, just back here. So yeah, basically what we're going to do, these doors just crisscross over each other and they're shock corded to the corners of the tarp. They have a quick connect down there. So what we're going to do, we're just going to grab this corner of this door. There's a little quick connect, some shock cord that's running down to the, running right down here to the corner of the tarp, holding everything on. We're just going to let that fly. Go, baby, go. I said, go. There we go. Just let that go, and that just hangs out there till we want to close the door. Conversely, I have another one right here on the corner of this door, and I'm just going to let them go. Now, welcome to my parlor. The only other thing to keep remembering to myself is I've never had a hammock that guys out like this before. So of course I do have to underduck this or step over it. I'm a bit conscious of that. Sorry about it. It's an ab workout under here, I'm not gonna lie. And not easy to maneuver a camera either. Yeah, I just had to put a few things up in the hammock, so I figured I'd make sure everything is dialed in, feeling good, feeling right. Feeling right on a Friday night. Yeah, my feet are in the underquilt down there, as well as the top quilt, but they're also, the underquilt is in its right place. It's on my shoulder here. I got my shine line up as usual. Same time hook. All my usual accoutrements are put in here. And minus a few things. I just wanted to get the lighting and that in here while I was at it. See how everything is hanging. It's a little closed in, not bad though. Not bad at all. The screen isn't on my face or anything. Everything seems to be well out and off my face. Have a nice angle here, a nice angle. Anyway, we're not going to bed yet. I'm just trying things out. I'm going to go back up to the clam, so. Oh, back in the clam. Staring at the side of the Honda Civic. Sorry I couldn't get a better view, but I had to put the clam back on into the wind. I'm kind of limited by my options here, so. Yeah, side of my car it is. But I got lots of propane. I just went out and checked there. Feels like a fair bit of propane. I'm gonna have to get a fuel gauge, I think, from a propane tank. Gusts are diminishing. Still getting them every now and then, like that one, but yeah, not bad. I think it's gonna taper off overnight and get better tomorrow, and better by the hour, I think. So, optimism. I might take a peek at these. Guy wipes. I have no idea where I bought them. Kind of a on-the-go flushable wipes with vitamin E and aloe. Individually wrapped 30-piece bag, wasn't very expensive. I remember grabbing it as an add-on at a cash register somewhere. But I usually cart this around with me. Package of wet ones in a Tupperware container to keep them from drying out. But these are individuals, so let's pop one open, see what's in there. Like you'd expect, a pre-moistened, neatly folded paper towel. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Yeah, I can. Sort of. That's it. I don't think it opens up any more than that. Holds together very well. Good material, whatever they're made out of, they hold together great. Just wet enough, didn't drip anywhere, but still wet enough that I could wipe down the table or something if I had to. Probably should. But guy wipes. Not too bad. Well, it's starting to get a little dimmer. It is 6 o'clock, 6:04. I didn't have a place to put my propane Coleman lantern, so that's what I came up with. That was just sitting in the fire. Sharpened it in and pounded it in. I think we have company coming. Not a lot of traffic going by here, I tell you. But I think that's the second time. That guy probably owns one of the RVs that's down there. But, or girl. Yeah, that's what I came up with the little lighting situation. I'm not sure if I aimed it away from myself because I don't want it blaring in my eyes all night. We'll see how it goes, if that was the right decision. If not, I'll rotate it. Also, so I'll show this thing. This is a beer banger. I don't know if you're familiar. I've mentioned them to some people and they haven't heard of them. A beer banger. So basically you buy this piece. Let me get that out of my hand. Yeah, so basically you buy this piece, which is kind of like a pen. It's got a clip, you can clip it on your pocket. And it's got a little spring-loaded launcher here. It's actually a half stop. So you can put it in that kind of a position. And yeah, fire mode. I don't know if that's supposed to be a safety, but it doesn't seem very safe. I don't want that in my pocket with that thing like that. But yeah, so onto the threaded end here. On that threaded end you can place this, which is a beer banger. Or you can put, there's a green ones I think they are, and those are flares. I've got a few in the car. I've got some extra beer bangers in the car. There are no bears on the Avalon Peninsula, or very, very few, and they kind of probably hang out at the garbage dump more than provincial parks. But it's a good, they're allowed. This thing, I'll splice in a little example of me firing one off right now. So, this is it. I could have showed it to you before I let it go, but it's basically a plastic tube with a primer cap in the end. This isn't a flare, this is a beer banger, which means it's going to shoot out of here and pop like fireworks somewhere over there. We're going to aim it up in the sky so we don't set anything on blaze. So basically you pull back. It's got a rest position right here where you could set that into the resting position and carry this thing around in your pocket. Fuck that. We're going to take it out of the rest and I'm going to pull it back, and it's just a spring let go. So pull it back and ready. 3, 2, 1. That's a gunshot, dude. Wow. That's a 12 gauge. That's crazy. That's a 12 gauge up in the air. Wow, that's crazy loud. Like even here that's loud on my ears. Cool. Work like gangbusters. So yeah, like I say, they are loud. I just keep it in the hammock just for things that go bump in the night. You never know. You can look out and there could be a coyote or a moose or a bear. Could be a bear, I don't know. Could be lynx. There are some sketchy things in Newfoundland in the nighttime. Anything that's a little bit skittish, this is going to turn them running. A moose in rutting season, probably not. Probably, I don't know. Don't want to find out. Other than that, this is going to send anything. This is clear the area in a hurry. This thing is very loud, so cheap insurance. Oh, now it's raining. It's the heaviest shower we've had all day. Yeah, another soul approaches. Something about turning on the camera. This thing, like the only, even though 4 people went by all day. I don't expect by the look of that blue sky, I don't expect that this rain is going to last very long. But that was a heavy one. I'm just getting ready to get a little supper happening. Meal light supper. I'm not really hungry. I was debating what I'd have. Hamburgers, cheeseburgers in the fry pan. We're gonna do some cheeseburgers tonight. Again, it's super windy. You see these trees just giving her. One thing about this place. Heavy rain. I was gonna say one thing about this place. It's a little like La Manche last week. It's you descend, so the wind is definitely up above me. Look at that whipping past there. And blue sky in the background. This is the weirdest place in the world. Anyway, I'll be back when supper's going. Yeah, this is what it's all about. Couple of burgers going, a little heat. Just perfect temperature here. Got my sleeves rolled up. A light rain. And the wind goes from nothing to crazy gusts to nothing. But again, most of the gusts are well up above me. So. Not gonna complain. I took my Coleman lantern and it was raining. Still raining. It's been raining pretty off and on here, but it should be cool. Just wanted to appreciate this. This is so good. Just a shot of salt and pepper. That's all I ever use. I don't know what I bought this thing for. Sure it'll come in handy someday. I like garlic salt. Now the curry guy. Cayenne on chicken, absolutely. Chicken breast, love it. Paprika. Deviled eggs, I don't know what else I'd use paprika on. Curry, no bueno. Garlic, salt, and potatoes, love it. Black pepper and salt. You can't go wrong with this. Someday this will be empty with a big full thing of curry in it. Who knows? Maybe I'll use it. My dinner's a little spread out. I didn't put it all on one plate. I brought a elbow macaroni salad and 2 cheeseburgers. Yeah. I believe this is what they call the gloaming. This is dusk. It is 25 after 7. Some steady rain, light rain. I haven't closed my window. I'm keeping the window open just to keep an eye on the hammock shelter. The wind is still gusting for sure. Definitely gusting in the 50s. Yeah, for sure in the 50s. I wouldn't say it's that 69, 70k that it was earlier, but that's a beautiful part of the evening. I've just finished a meal and sitting around here listening to the wind whistle. Not quite dark enough for the lantern or anything yet. It's getting there. Be back when it's black. Well, it is darkness now. It's 5 minutes to 8. There's a hint of light left in the sky. It'll get darker than this, but pretty dark here now. Did something different with the shine line. Makes me wish I had two of them. That's the way to run it, I think. I ran it from one corner to the peak and over to the other side. That's my headlamp up there, just on medium. I'm gonna shut it off. I haven't kicked the heater up. The heater's still in low. Moved it a little closer to me, that's all. Trying to conserve propane. I got a fair bit in the bottle, but it is Friday night. I don't want to waste all my propane tonight. The glow of the fallen lantern out there is warm and comforting. And it is 8 o'clock and I'm thinking about bed already, but it's been a long day, man. I left the house at 7 to get here. But, yeah, I'm gonna hold in there till 10 o'clock. I'll put all the gear in the car at 10 o'clock. Not all the gear, but the food, I mean. Put my cooler and my food bag and my cooking kit, all anything that smells like food. Throw it all in the back seat and lock the car up. And the garbage as well. We'll throw in the back seat. And hit the hay. I'll check in with you guys before that. I'm just daydreaming about going to sleep. So I was just out for a look around. Starting to clear off. Some stars are coming out. Looking kind of nice out. The wind is still howling up above, but so far it hasn't been too bad. A few shakes of the clam, but nothing crazy. Was thinking about going to bed at 11. Then I was thinking about going to bed at 10. Now it's 5 minutes after 9, and I just dropped a couple of melatonin tablets. So my time is limited. But I got everything put away. You can't see anything, it's pitch black in here. I got everything put away. I'm going to very gradually pack the rest of this inside here out of the rain. And make my way down to the dream hammock for some hammock dreams. I'll catch up with you down there in a minute. Back hanging in the Sparrow. Oh yeah, tarp is dry. That's good. Not much to mention. Very comfortable hang I got going here. Just got everything situated. Man, you can fit a lot of gear up in this peak shelf. I got the down hood was in the bag with the burrow, so I don't think I'm gonna need that, so I threw that up there. I got my fleece balaclava up there, which I'm probably gonna want when it gets cold. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. Better to have and not need. And with the purple hoodie sweater that I've been wearing is neatly stored up in the attic loft here too, so pretty cool. This zipper top pocket next to me is bottomless, man. I can just throw whatever I need to in there. And also I took from home a pair of cheap plastic Walmart sandals, and perfect for just running back and forth from the clam to the Sparrow. Super lightweight, so once I get in here I just take those, bang all the pine needles off them, and stick them in the gear sling on the outside of the hammock. No chance of them blowing away, or so that's been working out pretty good for me tonight. Short of that, I don't even know what time it is. Probably 9:30. Had a long day, and this weekend's about relaxation, so that's what we're doing. The wind doesn't seem to be hitting too hard down here. I meant to mention earlier when I went out for my look at the stars, I was stargazing while there was a break in the clouds. I noticed off in the distance you could see the beam of the lighthouse in Trepassey, which is kind of cool. Um, you don't see. I haven't seen it up here before. I guess it needs to reflect off the clouds. You need the right conditions to kind of see it. But cool. That was cool to see. Anyway, I'm running out of coherent sentences to say, so I'm gonna turn in for the evening and catch you in the daylight. Well, good morning, everybody. I take a very short video because I just noticed I'm on 1% battery. But sleep was very good. Rained all night, which is like a nice lullaby. I slept great. It's well after 8 o'clock. Time to get up, get a coffee, maybe get a breakfast, charge up some of this battery, face the day. I can see some sunshine gone away. There's some sunshine out there, so mightn't be so bad. This is so comfortable. Side sleeping, whichever you choose. This thing is awesome. Maybe another half an hour, we'll get up. Well, the morning has started. It is nice. Quite a bit of rain last night, more than they called for, I tell you that. But everything held in. Clam Quickset Traveler is still standing. Always good. The wind is lightened, but it's still gusty every now and then. We'll get some big gusts up above like we have been. Coffee's cooking. You see any fire in there, but there is fire in there. You go. Coffee's cooking. Not much else to mention. Maybe I need a coffee. I'll be back in a moment. There's a loon really close by. He's very far away right now. I can hear him off in the distance. Thought I'd catch him on camera. Coffee's almost ready. It's taking a little longer because in my morning stupor I forgot to put the lid in there as a spacer. But if I can hear things, oh yeah, she's getting close. She's getting close. We won't be long. It's chilly. It's still kind of gusty. It's sunny, but the sun isn't overhead yet, so it's not beaming down on us to warm things up. I keep saying chilly and cool. I guess again yesterday it was between 12 and 14 degrees. However, the wind chill had to be pulling it down to around 10, maybe 8 in the overnight. I'm speaking Celsius, by the way. And if I had to guess right now, I'd say it's about the same, maybe 12 degrees. But again, that wind chill's pulling it down into the single digits for sure here. So I'm just kind of huddled up on top of the big buddy here. I thought I'd show the Coleman propane lantern. You wanted to call it a kerosene lantern. Sorry, it is not a kerosene lantern. I don't know if you can still get those. But it's a good hot rod red paint job caught my eye at Canadian Tire. It was on sale. I bought it on a whim and it sat in my room for quite a while. But man, it is one of the best things I've bought. It really turns the campsite into a campsite and kind of, it's a warm glow. It's a really nice light. The hiss, I don't know, I love it. It's one of my favorite purchases. I think I've taken it on every trip, so. And every time I try to show it, it's just a ball of glare. So I thought I'd actually, it's 2 mantles. The auto starred on it. And I've got a bunch of spare mantles in the bag. Really fuel efficient. I don't know how long it actually lasts on a 1-pound cylinder, but it lasts a night easy, I can tell you that much. I got 3 of them with me, but I probably won't need them. Anyway, back to coffee. I'm just sitting here, sipping a coffee, and somewhere in that direction across the street, quite a ways away, I just heard a tree snap. Not a big one, not a loud one. It was a ways off, but I did hear a crack off in the woods. It's pretty much only two things doing that today. It's windy enough that it could have been a small tree cracking, or it could be Mr. Moose. It's probably only two things cracking off branches in the woods today. So let's hope both of those things stay away from me. Just sitting here thinking about this clam shelter. Thinking about my older trips up here when I had basically nothing but the hammock and the tarp for the hammock. Anyway, I had some good trips, but this is not just better. This is so much better. Yeah, it's a little more susceptible to wind, but I mean, when you're hammock camping or even tent camping, you just don't have a common, like a day area. You could spend the day in the tent, and I mean, if your tent is big, well and good, but if you just got a little 2-person, 3-person tent, you're cooped up in a tent or you're cooped up in a hammock. Or you're out to the elements. Or you're doing what I was doing and shifting the tarp around a lot and trying to jack the tarp up on one side, and this is just so much better. Wintertime, I've got my hot tent that you guys haven't even seen yet, but I do have a hot tent with a wood stove that we can use for winter. But, I mean, for the rest of the year, just having this thing, even in heavy winds, moderate to heavy winds, is not bad. I gotta say, it's very surprising. A few things to mention about it. Certainly the elephant in the room is that there's no front door. It has its ups and downs. It gives me a view, makes me remember that I'm camping. I'm not closed off from the environment. I kind of like that aspect of it. The big buddy will kind of get it warm in here, and a breeze of wind will come and just knock it right back to zero. And my back kind of gets a little cold because you get these little puffs of air coming through the... You can't really see it right now, but there are little gappages along the corners that let some air seep through, but small problems for the victory that this gives me. Just sitting here, and flies and mosquitoes and moths are all trying to get in, but they can't. I don't know if you saw one of my other earlier trips, but I was absolutely attacked by flies up here on the last trip, and I remember sitting here with these flies just killing me, and I had a bug net on, and I just envisioned, I was like, man, if I could just get like a cube, like a square of bug net that I could sit in. First I was thinking about just getting some bug net string up from the trees, and then Amazon came up with the solution, man. Quick Set Traveler by Clam. Cannot say enough good about it. They tell you 45 seconds set up. Yeah, that's if you don't want to stake it in. It's longer than 45 seconds. Come on, man. Takes about a minute and a half or so to get it all popped up and situated and back on into the wind, and then another few minutes to go around and stake everything in, especially in this rocky ground. Staking things in isn't easy. Also stake in one of the doors so the zipper works nice and smooth, but I got a few trips on this now, and I can tell you this is a godsend for me up camping. So just to be able to sit here with no wind beating on me, rain's not bothering me, bugs won't be bothering me. And like I said, I can still look out, I can watch the trees and the sky and all that stuff. I was thinking about making up a door for it. I actually have another set of these wind panels. Might be able to modify one of them and turn it into a door, or get some tarps here in my bag. Right now, the door thing doesn't bother me. The lack of a door thing, I should say, doesn't bother me. See how it goes later in the fall when it really gets cold. I may have to rig up some kind of a door for it. But man, what a piece of gear. What a piece of equipment this thing is. Like I said, I checked it for leaks when I first bought it, and right on the very tip, right on the very tip of this joint here, I'm pointing to through the viewfinder, right here, it didn't leak, it just got damp. There was almost a drop ready to fall. So I took some seam sealer, silicone seam sealer, went on the outside and seam sealed that area, and it is dry, and I haven't felt or seen another wet spot in here. So yeah, easy to hang things up, and the shine line, and I just love it. Absolutely enamored with it, gotta say. Good on you, Quickset. I thought we'd take a look at another chore that I have to do here today and take a closer look at the it's the Night Eyes Shine Line. Radiant Night Eyes Radiant Series Shine Line, I think this is. Basically a fiber optic cable, 10 feet long, with some gear ties. These are a product that Night Eyes also sells independently, but you get 4 of them with this. 3 gear ties and 1 weird gear tie that's attached to the handle here, but it does come off. It's just Teflon silicone. It's got 2 stages, which I can't show you right now. One is continuous on and one is just blinking and off. Also, right in the butt of it here, we have a little protective waterproof cover. And if I pick that out of there, we see that there's a USB port. I also have with me a couple of these Nextech. Bought these a few years ago. They were on sale. I stocked up on them. This is a 20,000 milliamp power bank, and it has a built-in charge cable. I don't know if you can see it, but the charge cable is actually stored on one-hander. You can do this. Charge cable just kind of fits in right there. How cool is that? And there we go. And the red light means we are charging. They last quite a while. This one here up here in the clam gets ran quite a bit more. I've never charged the one that's down in the hammock, but it's probably going to die soon. I'm gonna try and find another one. I want to get an X going on the ceiling up here in the clam and still have my one for the hammock, so I'm going to try and find another one. They do them in white, they do them in green. I didn't really want the green one, but I think that's all that's left around here locally without having to order it online. I'll put the green one in the hammock and put the 2 white ones up here. I don't know. Or I might just order another white one. We'll see what happens. Either way, really enjoying that thing, man. The Night Eyes Shine Line. Well, it's coffee time round 2. I thought I'd show you what I'm doing for water out here. This is about the only thing I've got hanging around the campsite. This is some kind of water bottle that I drained the nice Canadian spring water that was in it. Well, I just refill it with tap water, and kind of serves me well for out here camping. Gives me some easy wash up. Needs to be refilled again pretty soon. There's a water source about 2 minutes that way. I think I've shown in other videos. It's raging really good down there now with the hurricane and all that we had last weekend, so lots of clean water down there I could filter, but this is a lot easier. The bedroom held in very well last night. Everything, all my guy outs, nothing slipped. Quite pleased with the sleeping situation. I'm not reversing that tarp. If it dries out, I might have it. But either way, another coffee. Waiting. Well, 10 to 12, it is nice out. I'm a late breakfast kind of guy. And a couple of coffees in an hour, just sitting and thinking about breakfast before I can eat it. But we got some bacon, a couple of hash browns going there. And we're going to get some eggs in here and some bread on the go. There will be breakfast. Oh yeah. That is some bacon, hash browns, and some eggs scrambled in the pan. Eggs scrambled in the pan because I forgot my spatula. I searched everywhere. I can't believe I forgot my spatula, but I did. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be delicious. I decided we'll go for a little meander down the trail. Well, this trail is so beautifully kept, I gotta say. Speaking of that too, quite a surprise when I drove in here yesterday. They graded the whole road with new crushed stone. There's I think I counted 3 bumps. That shaves 20 minutes off my trip, I'm telling you. I don't know if you can make that out or not, but it's a fairly fresh moose hoof print there. Oh. This trail used to be overgrown like crazy. Now it's just pleasant. Windy but beautiful day. Pretty sure this was an outhouse. Too bad it's not still an outhouse. Be awesome. We had a lot of rain last night, so I'm not going to go too far now. I don't think I'm going to get down to the river. It's starting to get a bit squishy. There's our river. We've had a look at the river before, I think. This is why the wind cuts through here. I mean, it's pretty wide open down on the back of this campsite. Feels like every time I come down here, this place looks different. Ever changing. Old man's beard. There's a lot windier down here. Those trees really do a lot to protect me. I'm sure you can probably barely hear me. I wonder what this is. Oh, there's just a lot of loose rocks here. It doesn't look natural. So they threw all the rocks when they made it. Too windy to go down to Trans Cove. I could go down and go through the park down there and go for a walk around the East Coast Trail, but whoa, don't slip. It's this weekend's about relaxing and unwinding. Last weekend was supposed to be too, but we got hit with a hurricane, which is not relaxing. Just wanted to get out of the clam for a little while, enjoy the day. I don't know how old this park is. I'm sure it was here back in the 60s. Not sure when they opened it though. There we are, home again. Like I said, this side of the clam is the side that gets the drilling. So obviously this is the side that I point to the wind all the time. Yeah, it's performing like gangbusters, I gotta say. Maybe the only complaint I have about the clam so far, setting it up means kind of dragging it around the ground. I guess any tent is like that, but can't find it right now. But I'm sure I saw some little light abrasions on it that I'm not pleased about. I'm not used to setting it up. Maybe it'll just take a little more getting used to. Man, it's a godsend. I said hammock camping is really great if you're a hiker, you're hiking all day, you're setting up camp, you want a nice comfortable sleep, you're getting up in the morning and hitting the trail again. Awesome. I enjoy the sleep of a hammock, no doubt about it. But I'm not a hiker, I'm not a through hiker or anything like that, so lightweight's not an issue for me. And the big problem was I didn't have a day area. see on some of my earlier trips, I'm kind of huddled under the tarp, moving the hammock around out of my way. Tarp camping, which, don't get me wrong, not so bad, but far better solution. Wintertime, I've got a hot tent with a wood stove that we can use for the same reason. Just to have a little common area, a little day area where you can hang out and enjoy yourself. Best of both worlds, man. The best of both worlds. An awesome tent to hang out in all day and do your cooking and everything that you don't have to sleep in. And an awesome hammock to sleep in all night that you don't have to live in and try and do your cooking. So, win-win. Glamping. Well, back in the Sparrow. It's 20 minutes to 3. And yeah, just sitting around relaxing and digesting my breakfast. Thinking that a power nap is in order. Or at least just go horizontal down here in the hammock. I might not nap. We'll see what happens. See what happens. Maybe I will. Yeah. Not much to mention. Mosquitoes are kind of prevalent up here. Haven't been bothered by one of them. How good is that? Yeah. Power nap. Oh, 20 after 4. I'm just waking up. Just getting up. I fell asleep, took a little nap for about an hour or so. I don't think it did me much good. It doesn't feel like it right now. I get another coffee. Try to wake myself up a little bit here. I think I will. Looks like a different day than when I lie down. Looks a little different out here now. It's cool. Wind is still up. I was rocking the trees while I was asleep there. I'm getting a coffee. Well, 5:30. I am much more chipper than I was, thanks to a full coffee down into me. I've been sitting here for an hour, sipping on a coffee, listening to some playlists, listening to some music. Thought we'd talk about this thing, JBL Clip 4. It's the newest one I think that they have out, or one of the newer ones. The Clip 4. Really cool Bluetooth speaker. Powerful, it's got a lot of punch. I'm not using it very loud. Nice clear sound, a good range, especially at lower volumes. You get a really good range of bass to treble. I'm a musician, so that stuff's important to me. I really want to hear the music the way it should be. And this doesn't suffer in the bass department, let me tell you. It's got a carabiner built in here where we can literally clip it to whatever I want to. On the back side here, there's a power button. I'm a bass guitar player, so this has the coolest on sound you'll ever hear. Listen to this thing. You turn it off. Let's turn it off. Come on. Anyhow, some built-in controls for volume. You can pause, double press, you can skip. And there's a Bluetooth pairing button right here on the back, and that's pretty much it, save for the USB-C on the bottom. It's got a non-skid, non-slippy grip thing on the back. About $100 Canadian. Well worth every penny, gotta say. I really enjoyed. Really enjoying listening to some playlists. That was my other problem with this thing, was figuring out how to get some music on my iPhone that I could play offline. But it was well worth the effort, I gotta say. Really enjoying it. God, I just checked the time in disbelief. I was like, can't be 6 o'clock, is it? Like, wow, this day flew. Certainly I did take an hour nap. Well, it's time to start gearing my brain towards supper. I have a confession to make. I messed up. I forgot to take my pork chops. I was going to do a repeat of the pork chops, but instead I'm going to have to fortunately, I do have a couple of extra hamburgers. So, looks like it's going to be cheeseburgers again this evening. Which, hey, could be worse. But I'm gonna get a supper on the go now pretty soon. And the sky looks kind of grey, a little bit menacing looking over there, but I'm sure the wind gusts are less frequent anyway. I'm trying to get a supper on the go early and see can we get a little fire going in the Tokes gasifier stove I promised. Just I'd take a video of 3 beautiful things. Sunshine in the trees and no wind.
Mosquitoes that can't get at me.
And a couple of cheeseburgers in the making. A trifecta for this evening. And dinner's served. Same meal as last night, nothing fancy. 2 cheeseburgers, a smellable macaroni salad. That'll get me through. I'll be good. I'm going to show one of these. This is a Colgate makes them. It's a toothbrush, obviously, with some toothpaste and Colgate mouthwash scope, I think. Yeah, kind of impregnated into it. A little toothpick on this end. I don't know what that's for. Your tongue, maybe. But yeah. Just that and just a bottle of water, and I'll be good to go, fresh as a daisy. All right, got a little setup going here. First of all, I got 2 thermocells running because the mosquitoes are out around and the wind has died down, the sun's going down, mosquitoes are coming out. So I got this thermocell that mounts on an isobutane canister and the old traditional thermocell over here running. They'll put a dent in the mosquitoes for sure. Actually, don't even see them right now. Also got my lantern for when the sun goes down. And I got some wood. Pre-cut little scraps of wood. I got some more in the trunk. I got my fuel for the alcohol stove, which for those wondering, it's methyl hydrate. I just buy big bottles of methyl hydrate at Canadian Tire, very cheap. And fill it up to the fill line, and you got enough for a weekend for sure. But we're going to use that to get the wood going in the gasifier stove. And I also got my thermarest pad here to sit on. This should be great. Let's get a fire happening. So what I have in the little bag here is obviously the gasifier stove. But here. There's the gasifier, this is the base to it, and this is the base that I was using earlier for cooking. I'll use that again now so we don't burn up the picnic table here. And this was the top piece, which, like I said, was my alcohol stove stand. This part here is our firebox. The assembly is very, very simple. Sorry. 1 cup goes in there. They catch together on the little lip so they can't pass through each other. And then that is assembly done, and it fits lovely on this base. Also in here I have a cannabis container, I believe, but it fits inside there, nests inside there perfect. And inside this is a Swiss Army Swiss champ, which is very, very useful. You'll see. There's also a Exotec. It's an Exotec fire rod. Tinder. Fire rod with a tinder thing. Just a ferrocerium rod. Box of matches in there as well. Mosquitoes are getting at me a little bit here. Let's get that fire going real quick. So, I'm just going to start with this pre-cut wood. I'm going to try and pick some of the smaller bits. Just drop them in there. Just drop them in there. We're going to be a while at this. Let me fill this thing up. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it full, but not chock full. I learned that lesson. Don't block it all the way full, or you will block the gasifier jets here, and it'll smoke like crazy for the first little bit. So we'll just leave it. That's plenty. I'm just going to stick that back in the base and make sure it's centered up on my little thing. And then I'm just going to pour a small bit, flies are getting bad. I pour a small bit of fuel on there, and we'll hit it with a ferro rod and we'll see what happens. A little of this goes a long way, trust me. I'm just going to do it over here so I don't spill any on the table. Invariably some will go through. Just trying to get it all a little wet with, oh, there we go, that's going to be a lot. That'll work, okay. Let's lay him right there. And what do I do with that? Oh. Okay. And for safety's sake, we're not going to store the fuel near the fire. Then, I like the file. Use the file on the Swiss Champ. And yeah, quick as that. There we go. That should be going a little better. Just reach down in the bottom of the box and get some of the small dusty stuff. This little crud that's hanging around in the bottom of the box. Yeah. That should get her going. I dipped a couple in the methyl hydrate and threw in there. Pretty easy to get it going. Keep it going. It's a project though. I believe this is very good for anybody who enjoys mucking with a fire and constantly poking and prodding, because that's what this thing kind of needs. It goes through the wood very fast, and yeah, but it's fun. I enjoy it. It's like a campfire, man. It's good as a campfire to me. And to show the gasification, like check it out. Zero smoke. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but trust me. This way. You see no smoke, huh? Probably glaring out the camera by the look of things, but yeah, no smoke whatsoever. Just gotta be conscious of the sparks on my tarp there. I'm not gonna run it for too long. We're just wanted to fire it up and have a little fun with it. Burn through some wood. Say I had a fire anyway. Can't say I didn't have a fire at the campsite. Figured I should mention too, the real point of this is for boiling water, not for having backyard fires. So that's my main mission with it. But it's a backup kettle, a backup stove, sorry, for your kettle or for boiling water. It's a twig stove, basically. So it's got a big port here on the side. You can put your pot on there, and while your pot's boiling water, you can keep feeding small twigs through there to keep the fire going. The gasifier ports, air ports on the bottom, air ports along the bottom and the bottom of the top. Yeah, it's 25 minutes to 8, so I'm going to do this till probably 8 o'clock. Let it die down, then around 8 o'clock, and make my way back into clam, turn the propane on, but really gasifies, man. It's crazy. Once there's flame at the top, it just burns off the smoke. Sometimes you can even see the smoke getting burned. It's actually pretty cool to sit and watch. But Toke's titanium small portable wood stove. They do a medium or a larger version of this too. So they do two sizes, a small and a large. This is the small one, and it nests well with the pot and everything that I had there earlier. But too cool, great fun. Man, what a change in an evening. It's virtually breathless. Windless, as the wind has bottomed out very nicely. An occasional gust, just enough to make me worried about sparks landing on my tarp over there, but I think I'm just being silly. That could happen. Something to keep an eye on, but I don't know. Quiet contemplation, sitting here watching the fire burn. Smoke to keep the flies away. Also got my thermosols. Got the thermosols running, little slight breeze every once in a while just to keep the flies away. This is nice. I'm glad I did this. See what I mean about the Coleman lantern? The Coleman lantern just makes it awesome, gotta say. But this thing just devours wood at an extraordinary rate. I'm getting into the bigger stuff too, some big pieces like that in there. And yeah, living the good life. She's ripping there now, but it's going for 9 o'clock, going for 8 o'clock. I'm gonna let her die out now and let her cool down. Again, titanium cools down in a snap, man. So should be no problem. Didn't use my hatchet. Just a short fire, just for an hour, something to do. Move everything back inside now and chill out in the clam for a little while. It's quite pleasant out, like I said. Every time I say that, the wind picks up. Very slight little breeze compared to last night, certainly compared to last weekend. So yeah, we'll get through this one with flying colors for sure. I just wanted to film the last of my fire before I let her get down to embers. Once it gets down to embers, the Swiss Champ has a pair of pliers in it. That's just perfect. I'll just pick it up and dump the embers out on the ground, pour a little water on them, and they're gone. And that'll cool down in 5 minutes. Probably less. I don't know how fast it cools down. It's crazy. I know you think it's still red hot and it's cold. So, titanium. Gotta love titanium. Now let's leave that going for a bit. Once she dies fast. Give her a little prod down. Compress it a bit. Whoa, it's hot in there. That's hot. That's it. Fire's over. Show's over. Just trying to get a little video of the shine line. Video doesn't do it justice. So cool. Gotta get another one. Gotta make an X. Just after 8 o'clock. Everything cleaned up from the fire and put away and put out. And nothing to do but kill an hour or so now. Might be a late night, man. I slept so good last night. I was tired, man. Like I said, I took a melatonin just after 9. It was 9:30 or 9:40 when I checked out with you guys. I remember I lied there for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes and turned off the shine line. And it was not long after that. It was 5:30. I woke up for the morning pee. And that took me about a half an hour to convince myself it was real and get up out of the bunk. Threw on a pair of slippers, went back in and slept again, man. I fell back asleep again until it was 10 after 8 when I woke up. It was a good night's sleep, eh? So, probably going to be up tonight, feeling very energized and awake here. That's why I didn't want to keep mucking with the fire. I figured I was best off to just sit here and try and wind down after the day. The wind is practically stopped. An occasional oddball gust. Just beautiful and still and quiet. Overcast. I wish the stars were out. I love stargazing, but I like watching satellites. No stove. It's beautiful. It's the warmest it's been here all weekend. I'm kind of warm from messing around with the fire and that, but no, it's pretty warm. Gonna be 14 degrees maybe. And here anyway, it traps a little heat, and the wind black creates a bit of extra heat. Oh, the shine line's awesome. Didn't take long to charge. I'd say it only took about an hour to charge up. I think probably lasts 4 hours maybe continuous. 3.5 or 4 hours continuous. Charges in an hour. That's my guesstimate anyway. I threw the package in the garbage. But just checking in. I just changed out the cylinder on the Coleman lantern. The one I've been running finally died. It's got 2 weekends in it of off and on use, you know, a few hours in every evening. Yeah, got another one running over there. Should get us through. I just checked the propane tank for the heater, and it's got lots of fuel in it, so I decided we'd bump this thing up a little bit. It's on its medium setting here now, and it's cranking out the heat. Time check, it's 20 after 9. Beautiful evening. This is the nicest evening I've had since, well, last weekend was a hurricane. We had to pull the plug on it, and yesterday was 70k winds right up into the day. But man, it's pleasant here now, boy. No rain, no wind. Cool temperatures. It's going to be a nice night's sleep. Looking forward to that. I'm starting to yawn a little bit, but still probably got a couple hours in me, so sitting here listening to a Hang Your Own Hang podcast on my Bluetooth speaker. I should shut that off. Save the battery. I love that. But anyway, that's it. Killing an evening here with Nick of the Woods and on an old back issue of Hang Your Own Hang. I don't have any internet or cell service whatsoever here, so I just happen to have some downloaded on my phone that I can play offline, so cool. Back in a bit. Fired up the other panel. I decided I have lots of propane. I get the thing refilled before my next trip. Let's live the good life. This thing is going to be crazy. Cold, but I just spent an hour outside. I tried to film. I don't know if it came out. I don't think so. I was sitting here and I noticed a star over on the horizon. I said, wow, the sky is clearing. So I went out for a look, and it was absolutely stunning. Just an arm of the Milky Way stretching across the horizons. I said, wow. So I turned off everything, turned off all the lights, and took my chair, put on my jacket and took my chair and just went out and sat by the door there for an hour, swiveling around on the Helinax chair. It's my neck is kind of starting to get sore, but this chair is great for it, man. That was some of the best stargazing I've done in my life. I'm not a star expert or an astronomer or anything of that sort, but I do love me a nice night sky and try and find satellites. Saw a shooting star. I saw 2 satellites. Harder to find them up here. I see more satellites in my backyard. I think there's so many stars. I think it's harder to pick them out. But anyway, it was memorable for sure. Very relaxing. Well, back settled in my dream hammock. It's 11:19. 20 after 11. That's a nice day. Turned into an amazing evening. I think I hear a wind gust every now and then, but it's an airplane. Or a car. There must be like a party going down there. There's quite a bit of traffic. This is the last weekend before provincial parks close, so like me, I guess, everybody's trying to get out. Sorry, I'm trying not to move. Yeah, beautiful day, beautiful evening, beautiful sky. Dead silent right now, no rain. I'm almost thinking about going topless, just going open, staring at the sky all night till I fall asleep, but there's a chance to shower. It's supposed to be showers tomorrow, so I've done that before. I don't know if anybody else who hammock camps has had the experience of falling asleep and waking up to a rain shower on them. It happened to me once, and I got the t-shirt, don't want to do it again. But yeah, just wanted to check in and say goodnight. See you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. It is shortly after 8 o'clock. Great night's sleep again, man. Turned in about 11 o'clock. I'd say I was out by 11:30. Never stirred until 5 o'clock again for a pee. Back in here. Just woke up. Yeah, I just woke up about 5 to 8. Lazed around for a few minutes. Said I'd say good morning to you guys. There's sunshine on the rocks out there and mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are out in full force already. This is our last day here and it seems to be beautiful, windless and sunny. It's calling for showers, but hopefully not. And yeah, coffee's calling. Let's get up out of here now in a minute and get a coffee on the Geo. Man, the owls last night. Last couple of trips ago that I was here, I heard an owl for like the first time in my life. There had to be 4 last night. I think there was 3 or 4. I think there was 4 of them. Spread out over a few kilometers around here. Talking to each other. All night long. And moving around. Sometimes close, sometimes right on the campsite with me at once. Cool. There was like an army of owls out hunting last night. But I'll tell you more when we get a coffee. Well, not quite as sunny as I thought it was going to be. Actually quite overcast. But we got coffee cooking, a little bit of heat going. Hopefully the rain stays away. Hopefully it'll, I don't like packing up wet gear. I don't mind it, but anyway. Let's get a coffee, see what happens. Yeah, it's raining. Okay, Sarah. Well, tear the gear down wet. I don't mind doing that. Just lug it from here to my home, and I've got I got a nice wide open basement. I'll just take everything down, set it up in the basement. Got some hooks in my ceiling I can hang the tarp off, and it'll dry out in a day without me doing anything. So, not a big deal. And did I say it was raining and overcast? I'm sorry, I meant it's sunny and windy. Again, my coffee is not even boiled yet. It's 4 minutes later. Yeah, God love Newfoundland. There he goes. Good little inchworm. I'm just in the process of getting coffee number 2 on the go. I would wager a little more than half. I'm probably down to around here. Just looking inside there. I'm at about this much left. Which is still a few fills. I mean, you know. I usually fill it to around here. And it usually leaves a quarter of that in the bottom, you know, maybe a third of that in the bottom. It doesn't burn through all that to boil. So quite efficient. Slower, obviously, than a gas stove. Slower than if I was to fire up the Coleman propane or a isobutane burner is obviously faster. Things are so loud. And who's in a rush? Let's have a coffee and relax. And I hate to say it, but I almost enjoy the smell of methyl hydrate burning. It smells campy. I don't know why. But anyway. Just want to say it lasts quite a while, no doubt. Oh, 7 minutes after 10 Sunday morning. I ran out of propane. Not a big deal. Good timing. I do have a couple of 1-pounders here if I really wanted to turn the thing back on, but that's not bad. The overcast has gone away. It's a little bit sunny. I'm getting a bit of solar powered heat going on the side of the clam here. That was a good time to run out of propane. Excellent timing, just like I planned it. Lots of people are leaving. My plan is I'm going to sit and have my next coffee here, and I'm going to tear down the hammock first and come back and hang out here for another bit. We're going to get breakfast after that. And then all I have to do is tear down the clam. And yeah, way to go. Gusting heavy here now, man. Got the 60k gusts there just then. Sunny, overcast, windy, raining, and then all of a sudden calm. The wind just drops. Yeah, boy. Well, I got the propane heater packed up, and I got the hammock and the tarp tore down and packed up. Sorry it didn't take too long, but it's hurricane windy out there, and it was fighting me. It wasn't the best example of a tear down, but it went well. Everything's packed away in the car now, the insulation and all the extracurricular stuff. Yeah, it took about half an hour, only 7 minutes. Less I'm sitting here a while, so probably 25 minutes to pack everything up. Not everything, obviously. We're still on the clam, and breakfast is the next agenda. I get myself a little breakfast on to go in a few minutes here, and I'll come back to you when there's something frying. I just wanted to show this while I'm thinking about it. It's Sunday now, and so this has been Friday morning, all day Friday, Friday night, all day Saturday, Saturday night, into Sunday morning. I tried a few different things on this trip. Tried this. That's a bag of water right now, both of them. So they didn't do it. I also tried from Delta BC. These are called Cryo Pack. Cryo Pack. Made in Canada. Figured I'd give them a shot. It's kind of a blanket you can wrap around or cut it to what you want. That's a bag of water too. And I tried a tip that I found on YouTube. Just getting bottles of water, dumping a little tiny bit out. And believe it or not, these, I don't know if you can see it, but there is still an ice core in here. This one has quite a chunk of ice in it. So out of the 3 methods that I tried, the water bottle method kicked ass. It's dry in the cooler. There's no leakage. And all I have is bottles of water, so I didn't waste anything. Totally reusable and drinkable right now, and I can use them for coffee like I did this morning. Excuse me. Yeah. Win for the big 8 water bottles. Oh yeah. Some rain or hail or wind or snow. I will have breakfast on the go. Yeah, some bacon and hash browns so far. I kind of judged good on the food, but then that's because I forgot to bring my pork chops. So yeah, I took enough for breakfast, way too much bread, but everything otherwise, I still got some extra bacon. I didn't use all the bacon, but yeah, it gets dark and it gets sunny. The clouds are flying by at a high rate of speed. It's windy. But I got the hard part done. I got all that stuff packed up. I just gotta eat a breakfast, relax here now, pack up this little bit of equipment that's in the clam, drop the clam and go. We'll hit the road. Proof positive you can't screw up breakfast. That's a couple of egg in the holes and a third egg scrambled on the side there, a couple of hash browns, some bacon. And that's the end of my breakfast, so I don't need to lug that back. Well, in the cooler anyway. Well, breakfast was amazing. When is it never? Breakfast out in the woods is phenomenal, I gotta say. I don't know if it's just the extra burning that it gets on the propane. I don't know what it is, but that was phenomenal. A great send-off to a great weekend, man. This was, in spite of the wind and that, this was just perfect. Last night was amazing. 2 great nights' sleeps in the new hammock. We're not wrapping it up yet. I still got to put some gear away and tear down the clam, get everything packed up. But that's one more thing to do off my to-do list. Eat a wonderful breakfast. Holy crap, it's windy. I just picked up as much as I could of this other party's crap. Went around to the woods, red Solo cups, beer bottles, chocolate bar wrappers, paper plates, and candy wrappers. So, a drinker and some kids, it sounds like. Anyway, in the effort of leave no trace, I went through the rummage through the fire there and tried to get whatever garbage cans they had. I think I got it all. Well, it hasn't blown for a country mile anyway. Anyway, speaking of blowing for a country mile, it's windy, man. Look, the clam is taking it like a champion as usual. I'll bring some spiders home. The skirts are mostly dry. I see a little bit of water. There. I'll set it up in the basement and let it dry, but for the most part, packed up, ready to go. I saved the space for this asshole's stuff, and we're pretty well ready. Just gotta tear down my table chair, pack up my black bag, wash my hands, and then pack up the clam. I'm gonna set you up. We'll have a look at the clam coming down in a 60-mile-an-hour winds. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, while I'm tearing down gear, let's have a look at a piece of equipment we've probably been staring at the whole weekend. This is a Nemo Moonlander cable. Fairly recent purchase for me. I'm taking it on a few trips. I'm not going to go into all the specs and details, but it's a hard top cable. I dig that, as opposed to the stretched canvas type or anything like that. I'll show you how this thing breaks down real quick here. This is the case for it. Nemo Moonlander, a nice rugged case. I'm going to use that just to protect the top. We're just going to take the table, I'm going to turn it upside down like that. And I'm going to twist, just a quarter twist, very, very easily. So do it with one hand, look at that. These are on shock cord, so they stay together. And they neatly store in a little channel here. Grab the next one, little quarter twist, pop her out of there. One-handed open. Shock cord has it. And in its little storage container. So once we pull these out of here, we'll do the other two. There. And the last one. You'll see it kind of springs in on itself, starts to origami itself closed. These give it a lot of rigidity. However, you could still use it. You can still kind of use a Japanese tea table style. Which would be great if you're in a tent underground camping at a lower level. But it still works that way. And once we flip it over, if I let it close, watch this. That's some space age technology there, bro. Anyway, everything goes together that way. And of course, neatly stores in here. And yeah, Nemo Moonlander table. Not light or anything, it's probably a couple of pounds here, man, but it's sturdy and it's home base for most of the weekend, so dig it. Gotta dig it. Well, it's getting emptier and emptier in the clan. Thought we'd have a look at the Helinox chair coming apart. The best thing I've bought, man. One of my first camping trips I did on a one of those three-legged $15 Walmart jobs, and that was no bueno, man. It was like riding a pedal bike all weekend. But this, I've often slipped the thermarest seat in there too, but it's not that right now. This is the Helinox winter cover. Let me just pop it off on one corner. It's just got a shock cord with a cord lock. And of course it has its own stuff sack. I'm not going to bore you with the stuffing of that in there. So next, there's the chair itself. And it comes off just the same way. Basically just straight on a corner. I might be able to one-hand this. It's just a pocket that the frame of the chair goes into. And we're just going to pop that off. So in this kind of situation, pop that one off, pop that one off, and pop that one off. And we're just going to set that on the ground to the side for a moment. Here's the frame of the chair and the hub. This ground sheet that's on here. It's got a quick connect right here that kind of pulls the strap down, so I'm just going to let that go. Somehow or another. And then this will come off. And same thing, just pop these out one at a time. Pop that one. Move that one. Over there. And now the whole hub assembly will come free from the ground sheet. And we'll set the ground sheet over here aside. And we'll deal with the hub assembly here first. So here's the insanely small storage bag that this goes into. So the hub assembly, we basically just start. I'm going to pop the four legs out. Let me do that much first. So once I have it in this state, I'll just pop the four legs out. And everything is on shock cords. Right, I'm going to take these next two short ones and I'm just going to fold those down. So I've got a big mangled mess of all the short ones. And then these top two, they break in half. So that ends up, now we end up looking like this. And this, we're going to stuff in the sack. So the hub assembly goes in with all kinds of space. Just holding it in place, but there's the top cover. The seat, I mean. It fits in fairly decent. And of course, I can just take this thing, dirt and all, and just fold it up on top. Just let me get it halfway zipped. So you see, once you get the zipper started, it's just a matter of committing to it. And she'll go. She fits. And ta-da! That's the Helinox chair. Packed and ready to go. Alright. The last thing on the list is the clam shelter. So, first step. Get these support poles out. Stored. Alright, now zip it down. And we're going to unstake. Make no mistake about it. Right, just gonna stake the guys for now and take off the wind panels. Undo all the hooks. That way they should stay there while we take them off. Just gear back to here. Trying to be gentle on that Velcro. And there. That's the wind panels taken care of. And they, whoa, that didn't work so well. Anyway, they go in the truck. Next, last, actually, this is the case. If you ever get one of these things, one end is hard like this, the other end zips all the way over. Oh, sorry. You see? One end of this case stops here and has a flat panel. And the other end actually bullnoses all the way around. That's going to be important. I learned that the hard way. Okay, the last 4 stakes. One. Okay, time to move fast. Time to move quick. I'm gonna cave in the sides, in the middle first, sorry. Oh, forgot one stake holding the door. Oh, there we go. That was all that was holding it. Okay, let's get in here. Get in here. Come on, this isn't funny. Come on, this isn't, there we go. I'm gonna open and close it. Okay. We'll pull down the middle. And zip her back down. Now we're gonna go around, cave in the sides. 1, 2, and 3. And we're just gonna let her fall. Such like that. This over top. This over top. Make a little. I make an ice cream cone. There you go. Now, find the bag. I'm going to take this bull-nosed end. We're going to find all the pads which are down here. They're going to go in that way first. There you go. Now, get all this part on the bag. I'm just going to stretch it out to the end here. And gather this up as neat as I can. I think most of these things, man, they don't give you any extra bag. So we got it here. Now, the name of the game is get this gathered up like this and start this zipper without pinching anything. Get that zipper started. We'll be on the home stretch. Kind of jamming everything in here to get that zipper to line up. String, get in there. Alright, that was good. How's it going? Okay. Next, just gonna wrap all this crap up. Manhandle the zipper into position. Sounds bad. And here we go, here we go. And bring this guy up, should be easy. Here we go. All right, God, I hope that was on camera. I ain't doing it again. There it is, folks. Like it didn't happen. where the clam was. That's where the dream hammock was, and this is where I was. Anyhow, whew, worked up a bit of a sweat packing the clam up. I hope that came out on camera. But like I said, provincial parks close after this weekend, so I'm gonna have to get a little more creative on the next trips. I'm pretty sure Mother Nature will have a gust of wind or two to throw into my plans in the future as well. But more trips coming up, got more time booked. I'm gonna try and get a few trips into the absolute cold, maybe some snow, maybe a hot tent and a wood stove, who knows. Anyway folks, from Cappahayden in Chance Cove Provincial Park 2022. Thanks for watching folks. Bye.